Worldwide protests marked International Labor Day this year. Rallies were held in several European cities. The Financial Times explains. The marches take place against a revived debate over whether austerity measures being implemented across the European continent will suffocate economic growth. The paper adds 12 European countries are currently in recession. In Spain, where the unemployment rate is at 24%, people took to the streets to protest austerity measures. CNN has the story.
In Spain, anger is driving people into the streets. Union workers have shut down much of the country with a general strike. They're railing against a failing economy and severe austerity measures.
Similar protests were held across Greece and France as well. According to the Irish RTE, the rallies in those two countries are strong indicators of voter attitudes, saying, coming in advance of key elections in Greece and in France, demonstrations reflect growing anger against the austerity policies, which some Eurozone governments insist are necessary to reduce both deficits and Europe's spiraling debt problem. Less than 1 week before the Greek elections, people rallied once again against internationally mandated austerity measures. Euronews reports the Greek capital came to a standstill, with public transportation suspended and all government offices shut down. The deputy president of a public sector union tells Euronews.
The message of this year's May Day is the continuation and escalation of the struggle against the austerity policies, he says. The policies that will destroy the unions and society's rights.
A reporter for the BBC points out, however, the protests are not as intense as expected, saying,
they are smaller and less violent than in previous years. That is really because I think minds are very much focused on Sunday, on the election. That is when people will vent their anger.
In Malaysia, May Day marked the introduction of minimum wage. For workers on the Malaysian peninsula, the rate is set at 900 ringgit, or almost $300 per month. Those on Borneo Island will make a minimum of 800 ringgit. The announcement comes days after protests broke out in the Malaysian capital calling for free elections and higher wages. The New York Times reports. Reactions to the government's decision to introduce a minimum wage varied Tuesday, with one economist dismissing the move as an election gimmick designed to appeal to workers before voting that many expect could be held as early as next month. According to the AP, rallies were also held in Taiwan, Indonesia, and the Philippines, demanding wage hikes. For Newsy, I'm Anna Campaign Romero. Multiple sources, the real story.